Hey everyone, it's Chio Baby here with another video, and in this video I wanted to talk to you guys about how my surgery went and how I'm recovering from it. Me and my niece had our surgery on January 29th in Loma Linda Children's Hospital in San Bernardino, and we had to be at the hospital at 5 o'clock in the morning, so very nice and early. So once we got there, we registered, and then they called me to go in first because usually the donors, they go first. So they took me to the back room, they put me in my gown, and they took down some extra information. And once the pre-op room was ready for me, they took me back there, and that's where they put in my IV. And then the anesthesia nurse came up to me and she talked to me and explained to me what was gonna go down, and everything sounded great. And honestly, I was very surprised of how calm I was throughout the whole thing. I'm the type of person who deals with anxiety, and I was kind of waiting for an anxiety attack to happen, but no, thankfully I was very calm. And I actually even told the nurse that everything sounds good, it's just I'm calm and I want to stay calm, so if you could give me something to keep me that way, that would be awesome. So she did. I don't know what they put in my IV, but they put some good stuff that kept me calm. So that was good. In the pre-op room, I was actually by myself. I know some people have other people go in with them, but that's only like if you're extremely nervous. So for me, I was actually in the pre-op room by myself. I kind of did want somebody to be there with me, but that's okay. So then my surgeon came up to me. He said hi, he was just checking up on me, and then he marked the right side of my tummy because they were going to take out the left kidney. They usually take the left kidney out because it's the smallest. So then it took a while. I was just there waiting. Once they were ready for me, I think they took me to the surgery room. I did not know where they took me. It probably was the surgery room. I was already kind of feeling out of it. I was kind of like dozing off, and I think at that time they still didn't do the anesthesia until I got to that room that they took me in. But I felt like everything happened in a blink of an eye. That part, honestly, it's a bit foggy. I don't even remember. I kind of have a little vision of them like putting a mask on me, but I can't tell if that was real or I'm making that shit up. I don't even know if they had me count backwards or anything like that. I don't remember them telling me that they were gonna put me to sleep. Like I said, everything happened in a blink of an eye. Literally, I just blinked and then all of a sudden I was awake from the surgery. The surgery went great, thank God. My surgeon said my kidney looked beautiful, of course. So then I kind of remember once they were done with the surgery, I remember opening my eyes like halfway, and then I closed them back down, and I just remember hearing a bunch of like nurses or doctors around me, and I remember someone asking me on the left side like what was my pain level, and I just remember wiggling around. I was like, it's a 10, it's a 10, and then I knocked back out because I think they drugged me, so yes. So then the next thing I remember, I woke up in my room where I was gonna be spending my days. So then the nurse saw me that I was awake, and she called in my family, and they stuck around for a while. The pain level for the first day, I feel like, was tolerable. The pain was there. They definitely did have me drugged up to the max that they could, but the pain was still there, even though they did give me pain medicine. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was feeling kind of nasty, really nauseous because of the anesthesia, and the anesthesia usually takes up to 2 days to wear off. So the first day I did throw up like twice. So after my surgery, what they do with my kidney, they prep it for an hour. They snip off any extra veins that they don't need, because honestly the recipient only needs 3 main veins that connect to, I think, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to, no, I don't know. but there's 3 main veins that need to be intact. And so her surgery went great, and I was very happy. Uh, the donor is usually in a lot more pain than the recipient, they say. And that's because the recipient gets extra good stuff. Like my niece was on steroids and I don't know what else. But no, yeah, she did absolutely amazing throughout the days that she was there. Absolutely way better than I did. The next day was when I was in the most pain. The second day and the third day, the pain was there for sure. You know, they definitely do want you getting up, walking around to prevent blood clots, and it was so painful. I didn't want to get up at all. If it was up to me, I would stay in bed the whole entire damn time. When I did get up to walk around, I would have to take a step, I would stop and then breathe because I couldn't breathe and walk at the same time. It was difficult, and my niece was out there like doing laps, and I was able to do 1 and she was over there doing 4 or 5. So for sure the recipient does better than the donor. She did rub it. She was even eating way better than me. She was able to eat everything, and I would just take 1 spoonful and that was it. I was actually nauseous the whole entire time that I was at the hospital. So I wasn't eating well. I wasn't doing that well, to be honest, but it wasn't that bad. Our scheduled day was to leave on Thursday. We had our surgery on Monday, and then we were supposed to leave on Thursday. I didn't leave because I had a gut feeling telling me to stay. But my niece did. She was ready to go home. Like I said, she was doing amazing. So she left. My family was a bit upset. They wanted me to go home too. And I just said, no, I'm going to stay an extra day. And actually, that Thursday, I was feeling okay to go home. But like I said, I had a gut feeling, and good thing I stayed at the hospital. And I'm going to tell you why. My incision actually ended up getting infected. That night, that Thursday night, my incision bursted open and a bunch of liquid fell out. It felt like a water balloon just push. Horrible feeling ever. My heart just broke. That when that happened, I froze. And it's funny because I was in the restroom and I had just gotten out, and I remember I was talking to my neighbor, and as I was talking to her, that's when that happened. And I just remember I was frozen. I stood still and I was trying to I was like, what's going on? And then I was scared. I was trying to yell out my nurse's name, and I couldn't, I didn't remember her name. And then I was trying to read it off the whiteboard, and I couldn't even read her name. And finally, once I got her name out, I yelled that out so loud, and she came running. Good thing she was right there, honestly, right outside the door. She was very nearby, and she just came running, and I was just afraid that I had to go back into surgery. I was like, damn it. I was like, oh, they're gonna have to freaking go take me back into surgery and do I don't know what. The thing is that they didn't stitch me up. They put glue. So that's why the incision was able to burst open so easily. So they came over, they helped me sit down in my bed. I was hysterically crying. I was so afraid, and they're amazing. They kept me calm throughout the whole thing, thank goodness. And then they had this doctor come in and kind of fix me up a little bit. They did not glue the incision back up. They had to leave it open like that. So the thing was, it's nobody's fault that the incision got infected. It's actually my body's fault. Everybody's body deals with surgery differently, and I guess for my body it was just a major surgery for it to handle, so it got infected. The whole entire days that I was at the hospital, I was getting fever and I didn't understand why. And also there was a redness around the incision. Those are actually 2 signs that your incision is infected, but for some reason it did not click in my head at all. So then Friday morning came. My surgeon came over like they do every morning to check up on us. He came over that Friday morning, and what he had to do was clean my incision up. It was the most painful thing I ever went through, and so traumatic. Oh my god. It was horrible. It sucked. Like I said, my incision was open, and what they had to do was he went in there with cotton stick, and he was just cleaning it up in there. He numbed it before going in, but he did not let the numbing sit for a while for it to hit. So it felt like, let's say you have a cut in your arm, right? And you get a pair of scissors and you're just like rubbing the crap out of that cut. That's how I felt. I was crying my ass off hysterically. I felt like someone was fucking murdering me. My sister was actually sitting down on my left side, and my dad was right in front of me against the wall looking at this whole thing going on, and it sucked. And I still get a little bit emotional about it, and it's been a while. I didn't think I was gonna fucking cry about it. But like I said, it was pretty traumatizing. I'm sorry. I did not want to cry at all. I didn't even think that I was gonna fucking cry. Oh my god. It was just very traumatic, and it fucking sucked. I never even expected for my incision to get infected. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Let me get myself together. Son of a bitch. I stayed at the hospital till Sunday. What I absolutely loved about the hospital is that they were in no rush to kick you out of the hospital and send your ass home. No, they wanted you to take your time and make sure you feel comfortable going home. And I still didn't want to go home. I absolutely didn't feel comfortable at all. I had this opened up incision in my stomach, and it just looked botched. It was hideous to look at. I wasn't ready to go home, but my boyfriend made me feel comfortable, and he told me everything will be okay, let's just go home. So Sunday night I left. They taught my boyfriend how to clean up my incision because there was a couple of things that we had to do. So yeah, they gave me supplies and stuff like that, and so then I got home, and once I got home, it still wasn't easy. I was still in a lot of pain. I was taking polyhydrocodone about 3 times a day, once every 6 hours, and that still somehow for me, it felt like it wasn't enough. I wanted more. I could have taken like 2 or whatever, but I honestly didn't want to abuse taking that much drugs. So the pain was there, and then it sucked because I was always tired. When I would try to clean like a little section of my room, I would get exhausted and I would have to take naps. I was actually taking naps constantly for the month of February, and then I wasn't even able to sleep that well because I was so used to from the hospital bed. I wasn't able to sleep on my sides. I had to sleep on my back. When I was walking, I was actually walking like hunched like this, and I was constantly holding my stomach, and I was walking very slow. But yeah, I had to shower twice a day. It was annoying, and for the longest, I wasn't able to look at my stomach. I would like take off the padding. So this is how it would. So it would, you know, this kind of padding right here. I would have to take it off, obviously, before showering, and I wouldn't even look down there. I would just do everything looking up, because if I look down if I look down at my stomach, I always cry. I would always cry, and I would always have a panic attack, and like I would get insanely emotional. And that's the thing, after surgery you do get emotional, absolutely. It's natural, but I'm already a sensitive person as it is, so right after the surgery even more emotions came on me. Even at the hospital I was crying randomly for no reason. I slowly started getting better, and I started eating a little bit better. I was still nauseous. I was nauseous for probably a whole month. There's a lot of pills that have to be taken. Like I said, I've taken hydros 3 times a day, and then plus my nausea medicine probably 3 times a day as well. And then I was taking antibiotics. And because when you take so many pills, you know, they give you stool softener, because your bowel movements, they hurt like a mother. Because taking all those pills, they harden your stool, so you need stool softener or laxative. Is that what it's called? Laxative powder. They also gave me some of that. And then I had like appointments twice a week, and now then it was once a week. But after probably a month, I would say after a month, everything's gotten better. My incision's gotten smaller. It looks less hideous. It's tiny. It used to be like big and botched up and ugly, but now it looks good. Now I'm doing way better. Absolutely, I'm doing more things. I don't go out without wearing one of these, especially right now, because at this time everybody's getting freaking sick. There's a lot of flu going on, and I do not want to catch that. So even when I go to my appointments at Loma Linda, I absolutely do wear my mask and keep it on all day long until I come home. I even go to restaurants like this. I don't even care. It's actually very comforting. It's like a little comfort blanket, knowing that I'm not gonna get sick or something. So yeah. And then once I eat, I kind of take it off, put it aside, and eat my food. I think that's it. Like I said, the surgery in the beginning did go well. Then unfortunately my incision got infected. Then I had to deal with it. But now I still deal with this incision, that it's open, but it's closing up. Actually, I would like to show you. Oh, actually, it's stuffed up, so I don't think you'll be able to see the hole. But my niece is doing great. I'm very happy. I wouldn't have it any other way. If I had to do it all over again, I would. Even with the whole infected part, I would. I've cried a couple of times in the hospital when people come over and tell me she's looking amazing, and I would just cry because I would be so happy, because guess what? I did that. I saved her life. And family to me is everything. And the fact that I was able to change her life for the freaking best is amazing. You know, I added about 40 more years onto her, and so yeah. Okay, so here's my so this is my open incision. Right now I have a piece of gauze in it that has enzyme, and then that's another incision, and then there's this one right there. So 3 in total. And I just put the padding back on that. So yeah. At home, you know, I had to do self-care, and since I had an open incision, I had to stuff my incision with 2 4x4 gauzes, which are like this size. 2 of these just crunched up, stuffed in there. That's how deep the incision was. And then it went down to 2x2s, which were smaller than. Then I had to stuff it with this strip gauze. So that shows you how smaller and smaller my open incision was getting, which is good. It was closing from the inside out. That's why it was taking longer for it to close. Till this day it's still open, and I'm still caring for it, and I'm still showering twice a day. So that's so the gauze can soften up and it'll be easier for me to take out to put new gauze in there. And yeah, I absolutely want to give thanks to the nurses and the surgeons out there in the Loma Linda University Hospital. You guys are absolutely amazing. The best staff ever. Honestly, I've had amazing nurses helping me out. I love that hospital. Great. And yeah, I honestly hope this video was helpful for some of you if you're looking to be a donor. Just always keep in mind that anything can happen, even infection, because that didn't even cross my mind because I was worried. I was way too focused on the pain that I never even thought about my incision getting infected. So, but yeah, if you are gonna be a donor, I wish you guys the best. And like I said, I wouldn't have it any other way. You will feel so happy about it, I swear to you. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys liked it. I'll see you on the next one.